And muting. Great. Okay, so settling in. Seated, lying down, doesn't matter, whatever feels right for you. Just to settle, focusing on the breath. Using the exhales to soften. To come to your practice. Letting go of the morning's conversations and activities with the thought of bringing the mind, the body, and the spirit together. Finding balance by letting go of the efforting in the body. Finding peace in the physical body, tapping into the peace that the mind brings. Everything connected. Finding the breath filling the front and back of the heart space, evening it out, making the inhales the same length as the exhales for 3 rounds of breath. Using those exhales to soften. Exploring the breath in your body, not forcing anything. As you follow the breath from beginning to end, from the tip of the nose, out the tip of the nose. And with your next inhale, allowing the arms to float out, around, and up, maybe alongside the ears, maybe wider. Feeling, maybe noticing what you feel on the side body, the front body, the back body. Are you efforting? Can you soften? With your next exhale, floating the hands alongside the hips. Inhaling there and exhaling one knee and then the other comes in for a hug. Pause there, soften the shoulders, and then maybe you decide to rock from side to side. As we start to notice what we've brought to our practice without judging it, without expecting anything, just noticing. Aiming to bring this practice of non-judgment into our lives, finding stillness there, allowing the feet to float to the earth with knees to the ceiling. Tucking the shoulder blades maybe a little closer together if that's accessible to you, and sliding them away from the ears. Always letting go of what doesn't suit you. I just offer some options. Feet are rooted to the earth, not efforting, but actively resting on the earth. With your inhale, the hip points rock to the knees, just rolling on the sacrum, the tailbone. Exhale, the belly hugs in and up as the lower back starts to come towards the earth. It never has to come flat. Inhale, hip points rock away. Exhale, hugging it down. One more round like this. Maybe you notice the body moving on the floor. Gentle rock there, finding stillness and a neutral spine. Maybe you can step the heels a little closer to the sitting bones, maybe not. Palms face down, maybe you use them for leverage. Another foundation as you root into the soles of the feet and the shoulders, soften the jaw, tuck the chin to the notch of the collarbone. Inhale, hips lift any amount. Exhale, roll them back down, landing on the tailbone, the sacrum actually. Inhale up. Maybe the heart puffs up, maybe not. Meet your body wherever it is today. Exploring the back body, the front body, and allowing it to open and move with the breath. One more round like this. Inhaling up, exhaling, softening down. And then allowing the hips to rest on the earth. Pausing here in the stillness to focus on the breath. Sighing the exhales out if you need to, let go. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. And then just pausing here for a few rounds of breath, exploring the breath in the heart space, front and back. Allowing the rib cage to expand so the lungs can fill. Wherever you have ribs, there is lung tissue. Breathing into the lungs. Muscles between the ribs soften. Allow an expansion and exhale. Gently hug the breath out. Inhale, the diaphragm contracts as it moves into the lower abdomen. Exhale, it releases. The body hugs the breath out. With your next exhale, gather the pit of the belly. Use the palms on the floor in front of you to press into the earth and draw yourself up with your rib muscles around the ribs, and then up and over onto all fours. Taking the time to pad the knees, if that suits you. Have the blocks nearby. And then set yourself up. The wrist creases just in front of the shoulders, pads of the fingers resting on the earth, joints at the base of the fingers, the space between the pointer finger and the thumb, rooting to the earth, resting on the earth, so that maybe you feel that little dome in the palm of your hand lifting. Say it's another diaphragm. With your exhale, you're rooting into the foundation of the palms of the hands. The arms are active without locking the elbows. With your inhale, the tailbone lifts and the heart extends away from the belly. Maybe you lift the gaze. With your exhale, the tailbone tucks towards the earth. The spine gently rounds to the ceiling. Maybe you drop the top of the head towards the floor, maybe not. Hold that gaze to the thighs or the belly and start from the tailbone. Work your way slowly, mindfully up the back body. This can be a moving meditation. Body linked with breath, bringing awareness to that movement initiated by the breath. Meeting the body wherever it is, staying in this moment. The breath teaching us that we can only do one thing at a time. The next time you inhale, find a neutral spine, let the big toes walk together and the knees walk wide. Exhale, hip creases extend back in the direction of the heels. They don't necessarily touch. Inhale there. Exhale, keep the length in the front body as you bow down to the earth. Maybe the forehead, the third eye meets the earth. Maybe you stack your hands or use a pillow or a block so that you can release and soften into child pose. Move it around so it feels right for your body. Using props where you need to experiment. Soften through the shoulders. Soften through the heart space. Maybe there's room for the hips to reach back and settle a little closer to the heels. Maybe not. There's no judgment in this. We're just experimenting, noticing, being curious about what the body is holding onto today. And where can we let go with the breath? With your next exhale, the belly gathers. We slide the hands underneath the shoulders so that we can come up onto all fours again. Finding that foundation and then taking some hip circles. And then the other direction. Just noticing maybe one side's different than the other. And then finding stillness here. And we're going to do the twist we did yesterday. If you were with me, exploring that thread the needle with the block. If that didn't work for you and you know that already, please don't. Maybe you're coming to a chair, coming onto forearms. We can keep the arm extended or turn it in any direction. So if you're on all fours, the block's in front of you. You're allowing the left arm or hand to root to the earth, inhaling the right arm straight out from the collarbone. And with your exhale, that right arm slides in back of the left wrist for a gentle twist. Maybe the head lands on the block or the chair. Exploring. With your next exhale, the belly gathers. We press into the chair or the floor and inhale. Open out that arm. One more time like this. Inhaling, exhaling, exploring that twist. No efforting. That left arm is a support. Soften through the shoulders. The belly is supporting the back body as you exhale. Press into the earth. Inhale. Extend one more time. Float that arm down and come up over the knees. Roll through those shoulders. Big circles. Sliding the shoulder blades up and down the back body. Forward a couple of times. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, let them drop. Inhale there, exhale down. And we'll come to the other side, and we're always moving slowly, mindfully, with intention as we bend at the hip crease with the core engaged to gently place the hands on the earth with control. Nice. And we're allowing the weight to shift into that right arm and inhaling the left arm straight out to the side. We can gaze to the floor. With your next exhale, that arm slides in back of the wrist, coming to rest your head on the block as you turn to face the left fingertips. Right hand is helping to support you without efforting. The shoulders slide down the back. You're breathing here, noticing what you notice, and backing out of anything that doesn't feel good, right? Exhale, belly gathers, root into the right hand so that you can inhale that left arm to extend straight out. Soften it down again, shake it out, let it go. Root into the right hand. Inhale the left arm straight out. Exhale, slide in and back of the right. Come to rest. Notice what you notice. Try to let go of efforting, the jaw and the shoulders. Breathing into the side body, the back body. Exhale, the pit of the belly gathers. We press into the earth and inhale, extend through those fingertips. Exhale, float it down. Walk yourself forward onto your knees again. Roll through the shoulders. Soften them down the back. Inhale the arms out in T. Exhale, right arm under left. Wherever the arms cross, that's where they're meant to be. Draw the elbows away from you, not necessarily up, just away. Allowing the shoulder blades to come away from each other, and then breathe into that space in back of the heart. Are the shoulders over the hips? Soften through the glutes and the jaw. Breathing into the back of the heart. With your next inhale, allow the arms to extend out in T again. Exhale, reverse the cross, left arm under right. Maybe this side's a little different. Honor your anatomy. Let go of efforting that's not necessary. Extend the elbows away. We want to bring peace into the body to soften the muscles. And we can only do this if we meet the body wherever it is. Let go of the efforting. With the next inhale, we reach, extend through the fingertips and shake it out and let it go and roll through those shoulders. Nice. Let's come to stand. Maybe you're using a chair, maybe 2 blocks. To extend that right leg back, reach into the heel. Maybe rock forward and back a couple of times. Maybe you're on a chair. And then we're coming to the other side, extending through the left leg, reaching through the heel, maybe rocking forward and back on those toe joints. Notice what you notice. And then decide which leg, which foot is going to step forward. Maybe you always step forward with your right leg. So maybe this time, today, you'll step forward with the left. Soften through the shoulders, lift through the heart. Exhale, the pit of the belly gathers. We curl the toes under of the opposite leg and gently step it forward, slide it forward to land next to the other. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Roll through the shoulders. We're going to explore that mountain pose with a block on our heads again. So we're taking the block and we're placing it on the top of our head, on the crown of the head. And maybe you keep the fingertips just alongside it so you don't have to go chasing it if it falls off, because it might. And the feet are hips distance and rooted to the earth. Maybe it's a challenge to be on a carpet or a squishy mat. Maybe you like the feel of the firm earth beneath you. Your practice, what do you need today? And you're finding a gazing point ahead of you so that the chin is slightly dipped. You're rooting into the earth, lengthening through the crown of the head, and exploring your mountain pose here. Breathing into the heart space, aware of the thoughts, allowing them to settle, focusing on the breath. And maybe with your inhale, the arms extend slowly, mindfully. And with your exhale, the right arm crosses in front of the left with the fingertips lifted towards the ceiling in that protective mudra that we tried yesterday. Inhaling, the arms float out, around, and up. It's a relative term. Exhaling, right arm over left or in front of, closer to the body. Inhaling, last time. Exhaling, as if you were creating a force field of positive energy around you. This time we'll reverse the cross and we'll inhale up and exhale, left arm crosses first. Inhaling out, around, and up. Exhaling. Last time. Rooting down to lengthen up, to bring that energy to surround you, and extending the fingertips to the earth, removing that block. Shake it out, let it go. Let the block come to the floor. We're stepping to the top of the mat. Feet hips distance or so, maybe wider. And finding that foundation that's settling into the support of the earth and the lengthening up towards the sky. And we're allowing the weight to shift over the right leg so that we can slide or step that left foot back. So that we're on the toe joints to start, so that the heel is up. Nice. Shoulders are over the hips. You can let the arms settle alongside the body to start and find a gazing point that will help you balance. And then adjust. Maybe that right leg has to walk out to the edge of the mat a little. How does this feel for you? Nice. And with your next inhale, The arms float up and that heel starts to settle to the earth as you bend into that right knee. And with your exhale, the arms float down, come up onto the toe joints, straighten into that knee without locking it out. Explore this with your own breath. Inhaling, bend the knee, extend the arms, reach that heel back and down. Exhale. 2 more rounds like this with your own breath. Pausing if it feels good for you. Not forcing that heel to the earth if it doesn't need it on its own. Nice. And after that second round, floating the hands down and stepping that back foot forward to meet the other. Pause here in the stillness. Scan the body with your breath and notice, is there any difference in sensation in the right side body and the left side body? Not expecting anything or judging it, but just noticing. How does it feel in the body to move like that? Allowing the weight to shift over the left leg so that you can step, walk, or slide that right foot back to come onto the toe joints, called the ball mound. Pausing here, now you know where you're going, so maybe you expect something, let go of that and be curious that maybe this side's a little different. As you inhale, the arms extend, the knee bends, the heel reaches down. Make sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle on that left leg. Exhale, lower the arms, straighten the knee. Explore with your breath, your body. Find an easeful, smooth flow. 2 more rounds like this. And then finding stillness here. Continuing in this exploration of standing in balance, stepping that back foot forward into mountain. Sorry. And maybe you have 1 block. If you have 2, maybe you need 2. They're on their lowest level and they're next to each other on the floor in front of you. This is only, we're going to stand on these blocks. So if you have a longer foot, maybe you need both, maybe you only need 1, but it's there if you need the that much space, right? Or maybe you're not going to use the blocks at all, and you already know that balancing poses on 1 leg are a challenge for you. Just being on a double mat or a carpet is enough. Maybe you'll challenge yourself by rolling the end of your mat up and having a little more squish or softness to root into. Maybe you'll explore the blocks and then decide not to. Let's see where this goes. So you're finding a gazing point because that always helps with balance. And you're allowing the weight to shift over the left leg so you can step that right foot onto the block. With a bent knee now, right? So that the left foot is a little in back of you, but not a lot. As if you were climbing stairs, right? Sorry about this. With your exhale, shoulders soften down the back. With your inhale, root into that standing leg, come on to the toe joints. Nice. Maybe you can bring that leg right next to the right. Exhale, step it back, slowly roll down, toes to heel. So the point of this, or the intention, is to move slowly, mindfully, so that we're aware of the muscles we need, so we're not moving by, hopping forward or with propulsion. Okay, let's find this again. We're exhaling and softening. We're inhaling, coming up onto the toes, rooting into that standing leg. Maybe that foot hangs right there. Maybe you're exhaling, bending the knee in front of you as if you were stepping on that next step. And then slowly, mindfully, with control, lowering down. Maybe you'll explore this one more time. Again, maybe you're staying right here, rooting into that standing leg, coming onto the toe joints, lengthening through the crown of the head. Maybe you're aware that the core body lifts you as you straighten into that standing leg, that's necessary for the whole body to work, and then lower down. Step that foot off, shake it out, let it go. So you'll notice that I wobble around as I look at my screen because that gazing point really does help. So as soon as you look around, you will find yourself wobbling. Let's root into our mountain pose. Take a few rounds of breath to let go of that side. Smooth it out. And then we'll step that left foot onto the blocks. Or not, right? And maybe this side is more of a challenge for you, and you know that. We're finding the gazing point. We're open across the heart space. With your exhale, we're rooting into that standing leg. Keep the breath moving, and then stepping it back. I'm not going to cue a breath work. I want you to explore how the breath can guide you slowly, mindfully into this pose. Meeting your body wherever it is, honoring it, not forcing anything. How do your knees feel? One side might be a little different than the other. Maybe one more time like this, maybe not. Nice. And then settling down and stepping off that block. Shake it out, let it go. Let's pause in our mountain pose. And we have to come back down to the earth. Oh my goodness. Stepping to the top of the mat. With your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And with your exhale, we swan dive forward, inhaling, finding length through the back body there, and exhaling, deeply bend the knees, maybe finding blocks or a chair so you can step one knee back and then the other. Coming to sit on the heels, and then allow the legs to come to one side, so that now the right leg is in front of you and the left leg is off to the side, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. It just helps me cueing, because then you know we'll all be on the same page, right? Yeah. Can both legs rest on the floor, both knees? Can you find a comfortable way? You're probably resting on the right hip, right? The left hip is probably off the ground. Walking the right hand in back of you, and back of the right hip. The left hand is on that knee. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, always keeping this space between the belly button and the heart. Maybe you can slowly, with the breath, rotate the heart towards that right knee. Gentle twist. How does this feel? Maybe with your exhale, you're going to walk those hands a little forward on either side of that right knee, keeping the right hip resting on the floor, so that now maybe you feel this in the right hip, glutes, side of the outer thigh of the right leg, never the knee. Maybe if you walk that left arm a little further forward, you can get a little bit of a lengthening through the left side body. No effort, the breath is smooth. Gazing to the floor between the hands. Inhale there. Maybe you have space to walk the arms a little further, maybe not. Exploring this, not forcing it. Walking out of it if it doesn't feel good. Maybe one more round of breath. Exhale there. Inhale, walk yourself up. And we'll switch the legs. So the hands come in back of you. Just a suggestion, the legs flip to the other side. Inhale there, left arm and back of the hip, right hand on the knee. Explore this. The right hip is off the floor. Yes, you're not efforting through the lower back. Inhale, lengthen through the heart. Exhale, gentle twist of the heart towards that knee in the direction of the left knee. Maybe this is where you'll stay on this side. Long spine, straight up through the crown of the head. Maybe you'll walk those hands forward, pausing with each exhale, noticing the shoulders, softening them down the back. Inhaling, keeping the length of the heart away from the belly, and then using the exhale to come a little deeper. Your body, your practice, exploring, curious, not forcing a shape that your body isn't ready for. Lengthening as you extend into that right arm, maybe, or not. Exhale, walk those hands back. Use the core, hug the belly in to draw yourself up. Keep that back protected. We'll flip the knees straight up to the ceiling and bring ourselves down to lie flat on the earth in a mindful way. Coming through boat, rolling over to one side so that the movement is always slow, controlled, not jagged. Not forcing, coming to rest. Maybe the knees stay bent, maybe they extend straight out in front of you. Big inhale, sigh out the exhale. Rest on the earth. Big inhale, complete inhale. Exhale, draw one knee and then the other in for a hop. Rock from side to side. Take some circles or make some circles with the knees. Reverse the circles. Maybe another hug. Float the feet to the earth. Walk the feet wide. Let the knees fall together. Maybe this is how you'll stay for a few minutes, resting in Shavasana. Maybe you like to have your legs extended or resting on a prop. Maybe you need to cover up. Finding an easy way, a peaceful way to rest in Shavasana. The most important pose of the practice. Allowing the body to absorb that practice of letting go of the physical body so we can tap into that peaceful side of the nervous system. To start our day in balance, mind, body, and spirit. Better able to stay in the moment. Bringing loving awareness to the felt experience of the body. As you're breathing, know that you are breathing. And bring loving awareness to the breath. Feel how the breath is teaching us to do one thing at a time. Know that all you need is right here. knowing that with awareness comes change. We get to make the choices for ourselves in each moment. Slowly becoming aware of your body, resting on the support of the earth, becoming aware of the space surrounding you as you gently deepen your inhales and exhales. And slowly bringing your body back from stillness with small, gentle movements. Feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Relaxed and peaceful, ready to embrace the day ahead of you. And maybe you inhale the arms one more time to extend overhead. And with your exhale, lowering them to a comfortable position, allowing the knees to float over the ankles if they aren't there already, and rolling over to one side or the other, using your arm as a pillow. Pausing here to fill the heart space with breath. Breath, bringing prana, energy, new life. Breathing into the wings of the heart. Keeping the eyes softly closed. If that suits you, press the earth away and draw yourself up into a comfortable, easy seated position. And with your next inhale, allow the arms to float out, around, and up, and exhale into that mudra, if that feels right for you, of palms pressing away from each other. And floating the palms together at the heart center, we lift the hearts and we bow our heads to honor that perfect light that shines in all of us and unites us, with the intention that our practice be continuous, to bring yoga into every breath and step. May our hearts be steady for ourselves and for each other. And we dedicate our efforts to be of benefit to all beings. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May they be happy. May they find freedom. May all beings know peace. May they walk through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me.